don't know. I think, the generations prior to us has, inspired us. Julio, AJ Green, Odell. There's been so many great wide receivers that have entered the NFL, and the NFL has kind of changed into a passing league. You see all these wide receivers doing great things, and I think that's kind of inspired the younger generation because it inspired me. So now you get, the Malik Neighbors, the Marvin Harrisons, the Rome Odunzes that are going out there and shining, the Jalen Polks and the Jalen McMillans and all those guys. So, I think the generations previous to us inspired us.
Hey, I just wanted to ask you, when you had to make the decision after Coach DeBoer got here to stay or go, what kept you here? What kept you at the
I think it was a combination of the research that I was doing on their offense and how great they have been in the past, and also getting to know them as people. I say this all the time. Coach DeBoer is one of the most genuine guys I've ever met. The things that he said to me in those meeting rooms that we spent hours in, kind of trying to discuss my path, are the same things that he preaches today, and the same thing that he promises, carries through on his promises for. So I think just the people of it, understanding that Washington was a great area for me, a good amount of people there that I've met that'll be my friends for life, and a place that I had passion for. So a combination of all those factors, I would say.
And at this time last year, you had a decision of whether or not to go to the draft or come back. Kind of what ultimately made the right choice to come back?
I think this right here, this moment, having all my teammates here, having this coaching staff, and the University of Washington to be on this level, this light, which I think it belongs to be, and I think I wanted to be a part of that. When I first came there and when I first committed, I said that this was one of my top goals, and now it's coming to fruition. So I think for these moments right here, that's why we did it. Yeah. Yeah, no, for me it's huge. I'm a West Coast kid. I grew up watching Pac-12 football, so for me it's huge. I love it. I think the Pac-12 has been slept on for the entire time that it existed, and for me, sadly, it's coming to an end. But the West Coast will still be represented, and in these new conferences, hopefully, people around the nation will be able to watch, regardless of time zones and different things. So for me, it means a lot to be able to be out here represent West Coast football and go put on a show.
Hey, Michigan secondary has been able to really prohibit a lot of top receivers this season from having big games. What do you see from them on film, and how are you going to be able to try to expose them on Monday?
I think that they do a lot of different things well, and that kind of keeps offenses on their toes as well as receivers. And they got a bunch of great guys back there on the secondary that know the scheme. Strong physical guys that can also run and be there competitively on every single pass play. So it's going to take a lot, just focusing in on our game plan, making sure we have all our details down and go out there and execute it.
Rome, some of the biggest moments of the season, you may have run a reverse or you get the big catch against Oregon State. Is that something where you're calling for the ball, or these plays are already coming your way, and what does that mean to you to make those clutch plays in so many moments this year?
Yeah, I'm not really the type of receiver to call for the ball like that, honestly. In my position, I've been just so blessed with the opportunity to make those plays in those situations. My name has been called, but I think that all of us are just ready for the moment. And this year, thankfully, the moment has came to me on several different occasions, and I've been able to come through. But that's anybody on this team. Anybody on this team is ready to make those moments. But this year, I've been fortunate to be a part of some of those special clutch moments.
Well, earlier this year, I spoke with Coach DeBoer, and he said some of these throws Michael could make blindfolded because you guys have worked on it so much. I mean, how true is that, and what was that work? What went into that work that you guys put in as a group?
Definitely. I mean, since the day that he got there, he was transferring in. We've been working. He texted all of us to go throw routes on air, and we've been doing that ever since he got here. Just honing in on our craft, trying to build that chemistry, and through both of these seasons, through the work outside of the field, outside of season and the off season, we've kind of built this connection that allows him to do that. And he's such a great talent that I'm sure he probably could go out there and throw some of these things blindfolded, but it just took a lot of work.
So the college football playoff committee left you guys out of the rankings a few times. You guys were big underdogs in the Pac-12 championship game. It feels like for where you are, this program at times has been a little invisible this year. As somebody playing, what do you think is why do you think that everybody hasn't been paying enough attention?
Man, I think that's the age-old question right now. I think that's something I've been trying to answer. My family's been trying to answer. The West Coast has been trying to answer for a long time. And it's something that I don't think can be truly answered other than the fact I don't think people are watching enough football out West Coast, point blank period. And everybody who's reporting on it, the media, which is you guys, is not, reporting on it the way it should be, in my opinion. But I'm biased because I'm from the West Coast, so I don't know the whole story, right? But I think that there's just a lot of a lack of attention on the program, just because football and everything down south, over on the east, gets a lot of attention, and that's just the nature of it. But at the end of the day, what happens in between those lines was what happens in between those lines, and teams that really prove it on the field are going to rise to the top, and that's what's happened this season. I think so. I think it's going to, provide a bunch of new challenges as well, but I definitely think it's going to provide a new light because now they're able to play on a different time zone where people are staying up and watching those games, and also to be able to play those teams that people, say that we can't hang with a lot of the time. So yeah, definitely, I think it'll provide an opportunity for the West Coast football to be seen, but it provides a whole another set of complications and struggles that are yet to be seen.
Rome, how much do you guys care about how this team is remembered and kind of like how would that legacy change if you do win?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, that's story still being written, so we'll see. We'll see how it all ends up. But I think that it would be awesome. To cement ourselves into history. As one of the best Huskies teams ever. Up there with some of the greats, and that it's yet to be seen. So we just got to go handle our business and find out what happens after that.
You were asked a little bit of the secondary earlier, but is there anyone specifically on Michigan, Will Johnson, for example, who's really caught your eye in the preparation?
I honestly think that they're all great athletes, great, defensive players. Honestly, definitely, have watched film on Will Johnson just because he's been a big name out there and made a lot of plays this year. So, but their secondary as a whole is a good unit. So, not paying too much attention on anybody specifically, but definitely looking at each of their tendencies.
Rome, college football has really changed quite a bit since you were a senior in high school. What do you, just kind of taking into mind what's, how some of the changes you've seen, what do you think it's going to look like in 4 years?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know. College football is like a reality TV show to me. If there was cameras in these locker rooms for some of these teams, with all the stuff that goes on, man, it would be a hit show for a long time, kind of like Hard Knocks, I guess. But college football is even more crazy in the sense that it's unprofessional sports. The stories of people getting paid behind doors, the coaching changes, the firing, like. It's so crazy, but I think the biggest change is going to be going forward is just going to be the NIL world, just changing the scope of college football and how that's going to impact programs, programs that don't have the funding or donors to compete with some of the teams that do. I think that'll start to create a disparity, which I would hate to see, but I kind of see it going in that general area. But I don't know. I think at the end of the day, the sport continues to remain pure because you can't win this game without working hard and putting in the work. Yeah, no, they are. They've done a great job this year. I think that they're able to disguise a lot of coverages as well and get their guys in position to confuse the quarterback, confuse the wide receivers to make them think different things, different coverages, and that allows them to create some chaos in offenses and get them out of their rhythm, as well as having very solid athletes, very good secondary and front seven who do their job very well. So I think they're all around have a great defense. Can play any coverage out there, and it's going to be a great challenge for us.
Bro, let's have some fun. It's media day last week versus Texas. Right in front of me, I'm doing the mega cast on ESPN. You had a big catch on a goal ball, and then you went to rocking the baby. Take us through your mindset when you're rocking the baby. and your confidence in that moment?
Yeah, we was rolling down the field. We was trying to close the game out, and I was able to make a big play, and that just kind of came to my head. Something I felt like doing in the moment. I'm usually kind of not a player that kind of does celebrations like that or taunts anybody. So, but on the big stage in that moment, I felt like it was necessary, and I felt like for my team to recognize what we needed to do and keep that momentum, keep that energy up. It just came to my mind, and I did it. So, yeah.
Talk about you guys in the wide receiver room, because a lot of you guys have had a ton of success, whether it's last year, this year, along with Michael Penix Jr. Talk about the relationship that you guys have with one another, to not be jealous, but have that open competition, that friendly competition to want to do great as individuals, but collectively as a group.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's one of the biggest things that has continued to drive us, just because in a wide receiver room, a lot of people, think the narrative is a bunch of divas and stuff and people who want the ball and are selfish in that way. But for us, we created that competitive nature where we're all competing with one another, but we also want one another to eat and to win and to make plays. And, that sort of environment creates, something that just keeps on snowballing, the competitive nature gets higher, and then the playmaking becomes higher, and you're kind of feeding off of one another. And that's take time, going through struggles, going through adversity, working when nobody's watching, when the lights are off. And thankfully for us, it's worked out where when the lights are on, we're able to make a lot of plays. Thank you.
Rome, I wanted to come back to something you said about West Coast getting overlooked a little bit. Do you feel like this happened to you to a certain degree, that maybe people slept on you a little bit this year?
Yeah, I definitely do feel that a little bit, honestly, just because, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've been playing pretty solid ball for a couple seasons here, and, some other people have been, in the light longer than me. But at the end of the day, I don't pay too much close attention to that, because like I said, when you go out there and you work hard and you put it on the field, real gonna recognize real eventually. And that may come quicker for some people, but that's when you get into, comparing yourself to another person. For me, I just compare myself to me and try to be the best player I can every time I step on the field. And I know if I do that, then I'll be recognized eventually.
Do you view yourself as the best receiver in the country?
I do.
One more for you. When you came back, obviously I know draft stock has something to do with that. You see now, obviously you had a terrific season. Some people talking about you being a first round pick, maybe even the top receiver rival in that. Do you feel validated about your decision, given everything that's happened the last year for you?
Yeah, definitely. It definitely, makes you feel better that it all kind of worked out, right? That the story kind of went better rather than taking a turn. But even if this team would have made, went 6-6, made a bowl game, I feel like this brotherhood that I have with these guys, the experiences that I've been able to have, and the journey that I've had, it was God's plan for me to come back another year. And thanks to Him, He's made it all work out. So I'm here in this situation, searching on the verge of a goal that I've had since I was a little kid. But yeah, I think that it was up to God, and thankfully, through all the hard work and perseverance, we've got to this stage. But yeah, it definitely feels better that the story went this way.
We've seen what on the field, also we've seen him show up at the Heisman ceremony with everybody's name inside his jacket. What does he mean to this team?
Oh, he means everything. I mean, he came to this program a little bit broken, you could say, after being through so many injuries and, struggling in his college football career, but before that being a Heisman candidate, right, being up there with some of the bigger names, and, falling to where he's been. And he came here and he had the mindset to just improve, and he brought all of us along with him. And, we wouldn't have had the success that we had without him and his spirit, his on-the-field plays, his off-the-field camaraderie. It's really something special and something to behold. So for me, for this program, I think we're all just super grateful that he chose us. It would mean a lot. It would mean a lot. I've been playing football since I was 6 years old, and I've luckily been a champion at nearly every level. So to me, this is just another step in the process to becoming great. And I think that it would be something I'll remember forever. My family, Husky Nation, something that I truly care about, would remember forever. And I think it would bring a lot of joy to a lot of people's faces that I love. So it would be great for me.
teams do you replicate and why?
I watch all different types of wide receivers. Honestly, I try and take I try and take like a specific piece from everybody else I watch. Like when I was trying to figure out how to catch a lot of 50-50 balls, I would watch Julio Jones film when he would just go up and snag it, effortlessly. Megatron, stuff like that. Also, when I want to watch releases or get my releases a little bit better, I'll watch Cooper Kupp or Devontae Adams or Stephon Diggs, because all those guys, are great in that realm as well. Route running, Devontae Adams again, Keenan Allen, watching those guys as well. And then also when you're watching like late catch ability and to be able to make catches in space, I watch all those different guys, but I don't watch Tyreek Hill because he's a little bit of a freak of nature, so I just leave that to him.
A lot of eyeballs on this stage in the semifinal and now the final, and at this point, a lot of casuals are watching as well. How do you feel as though your game translates to the next level, the NFL level, for those common fans who might not know your game?
I think it translates well. I think I have a wide variety of skills. I can get the job done on any given play. With those skill sets, and I think I'm a student of the game, and in the league, I think it becomes a lot more mental than it is physical at times. You got to have the physical attributes and the ability, which I think I have, but I have the mental fortitude to be able to go through those 17 weeks and be able to learn and to grow and to become a more knowledgeable football player that I think will be key.
Hey, Ro, going off that, how ready did you feel for the NFL this time last year?
I felt ready. I really did. I definitely felt ready. I felt like I could go and compete, honestly. I think definitely I've improved over this last season and are even more ready now. But I felt like I was ready to go.
What was the process for you in terms of deciding to go back to school?
It was a lot of just, talking with my family, thinking about the best decisions for me, kind of considering the draft and looking about where I would go and different things like that, but also considering my teammates and Mike coming back and everybody else coming back and understanding that everybody else was willing to come back and go through the grind and go through, the journey that is college football yet again to get to something like this. And, just reflecting on that moment and reflecting on how special it would be in this moment, it allowed my decision to clear up. And, here we are now.
What kind of feedback did you get?
About the draft, I got some solid feedback. It wasn't exactly what I was looking for. I don't want to be too specific, but it was some solid feedback. It wasn't exactly what I wanted to hear, but it wasn't terrible.
Were you guys making the decision? Were you guys talking about it or texting about it or whatever?
Yeah, I remember Mike said he was coming back right at the banquet last year, so he made the decision quick, but he was texting me as well, just telling me to, but he has love for me, so he's telling me to make my decision, go through the process and to look at all the different things that I wanted to look at before I made my decision. But yeah, I'm sure he was wanted me to come back as well, but all the different guys, we was chopping it up a little bit, and I was the last one to make my decision, so I was just watching everybody commit. So when everybody did that, it was easier for me to say, okay, let's do it.
Obviously, college football changed a little bit while you were in school. I'm curious, as you go through the process, how much did the modeling future decisions kind of factor into how appreciative for you working things out now?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it wasn't really a huge factor, honestly, because if I really wanted to go with the money, I would have went to the league, right? Because that's when you get to play professionally. You're getting a paycheck, right? But so it wasn't in huge consideration because I didn't want to do it for those reasons. Of course, Montlake Futures and University of Washington are two great, institutions, I guess you could say. So they wanted to help me out and hook me up, and we were able to come to an arrangement on certain things. So that was just kind of a plus on top of,
I feel like that was all pretty fair. Like, you happy with how that went?
Yeah, I was happy how that went. Yeah, I mean, I was feeling lucky to be, be getting anything because, when I came into college football, that was just a dream. So, and I know so many people came before me that didn't have that opportunity as well. So anything for me was awesome, honestly.
How much have you guys had to adjust to potential sign stealing? I mean, obviously it was a big thing at the Rose Bowl with Michigan,
Right.
Alabama ditching individual tablets. How have you guys kind of handled that in Washington?
Yeah, we haven't really paid too much attention to it, honestly. Something that we're not really concerned with at the end of the day. we feel like we'll be able to go out there and compete regardless. We don't pay too much attention to the sign ceiling. That's their story. So we just want to keep it about us and make sure we're doing all things that we need to do.
So you guys haven't done anything differently at all in preparation?
Nah, no.
Hey Roma, you were with Roman Wilson at the Collegiate Bowl when you guys were both senior in high school. Talk to us about being on the same team, hanging out, getting to know each other.
Yeah.
You guys talked this week at all?
No, we haven't talked, but Roman's a great dude. I remember he was taking me around Hawaii, just showing me, the different spots a little bit while he was out there, because he was living out there at the time. And I played against him when he was at St. Louis, and he was doing well for himself in that game as well. So, man, I've been watching his story from afar. I really haven't connected too much, maybe every now and then, but haven't connected too much. But, I've seen his development, seen his growth, and, I'm happy we'll be able to share that stage together on Monday. Yeah.
Ro, I'm curious, is it crazy that you guys are going to play the last football game in Pac-12 history? What does that feel like?
Yeah, no, it definitely is crazy. I was just saying earlier that I kind of grew up watching Pac-12 football, and I'm a West Coast kid, so I'm fond of the Pac-12 conference and all the teams in it. Even though some of us have rivalries, I back the Pac. So, it's kind of surreal that it's going to come to an end. It's going to be so much different, with the different conferences and stuff. So we'll see how it all ends up, but. It's definitely pretty crazy.
So there's no confusion here about, wait, the Big Ten, you see the Big Ten that work over there, it's playing a Big Ten team, or the Big Ten next year. It's the Pac.
No, we the Pac. Yeah, we're the Pac-12 this year. We played in the Pac-12 this year. We're a Pac-12 team this year. We might have Pac-12 logos on our jerseys still. I don't know, but for me, I would say we're the Pac.
Yeah. I'm curious with the NIL. Do you think the way Washington has handled it, as far as not being one of the programs that's going out and bidding on 17-year-old kids and bringing those guys into the locker room in that way, do you think it's helped maintain the culture because it's kind of based on performance and not just projecting what a five-star kid's going to do?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I honestly wouldn't even say it's based off of performance. I think it's based off, the work that you've put in, for this program. I think that, this coaching staff and Montlake Futures, they recognize that all the kids that have been here grinding for a long time and have put in the work to make this program grow. So I think that they kind of reward that rather than, guys that are just coming in, regardless of if you're 4-star, 5-star, they want you to put in the work before they slide you any NIL.
Got Courtney Morgan from Michigan a couple years ago. What has he meant to the program and the way that Coach DeBoer has built things up?
He's been awesome, in the recruiting game. They're great people and they do a great job. So, he's continued to push the limit on that fund. Doing his thing, and he's awesome. He's a great individual that you can be around. He always brings a smile to your face, a guy you can laugh with, and I think the program is super lucky to have him.
Hey Roman, on a lighter note, so you've done the Sugar Bowl now here. What's been your favorite bowl swag so far?
Bowl swag.
Game swag so far.
Game swag. I'm a big fan of this sweatsuit we got on today. We brought out the pristine. Last week it had the Sugar Bowl thing on it. Now it's got the national championship. Yeah, I can't lie. This thing right here is clean. So I'm a big fan of it. But Adidas just did a drop for us actually yesterday. If you've seen it on social media, with some shoes and a different sweatsuit that was pretty awesome for them to come through with. So I'm just soaking it all in. I'm not too picky. So I'm grateful for it all.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Hey, Roman, you guys all season in some tight spots, some close games, have made some very aggressive calls, fourth downs,
Right.
The Apple Cup, things like that. Have they ever made a call or made a decision that as a player you kind of go, wow, that's pretty risky?
Yeah, no, definitely the play on our own 29, the 4th and 1 play. I was like, okay, like they're really doing it, but I understand the risk factor and I recognize it. But for me, I'm the same way. I want the offense to be on the field till we touch the end zone. So I definitely recognize that some of those calls are risky, and I love the mindset that they're in attack mode and are willing to take that risk and go get it. So, but yeah, I would say that 4th and 1 play against Wazoo was probably the biggest moment.
I mean, does your staff just have like ice water running through their veins or something? Because it seems like, it just seems like they don't change anything. So even as big of a game as that was, as the one last week was? It seems like they're doing the same thing all the time.
Yeah, no, I mean they got turbo running through their veins throughout the week, so that allows them to be, ice cold on game day because, they work so hard tirelessly. They just got here, last night super late because they were back continuing to game plan and do those things. So they just work so hard and they want it for us so bad and for this program so bad that when it comes to game day, they're so prepared, they're so dialed that it's just kind of second nature to them. Yeah, of course.
Rome, I don't know how much you'll be matched up with him, but Will Johnson from Michigan, what have you seen when you've looked at him on film?
I think he's a very instinctive player. I've seen him jump a few routes. Get some turnovers for his team. I think that he plays that brand of football very well. While also being able to cover anybody on the field. I've seen that they matched him up with Marvin Harrison, and he was able to compete with him as well. So definitely a young kid, athletic, doing his thing, and I think he'll be a great competition for us.
Do you expect that for yourself? Do you think they'll match him up?
I'm not sure. We'll see.
How would you describe just stylistically, schematically, what you think Michigan wants to do on defense?
I think they want to change the picture on us. They've done it all year, honestly. Changing the picture on quarterbacks, just giving different looks, so that way you're guessing what covers they're going to be in, and they do a great job of that. So I think that they're going to continue to try and do that to us as well as well bring some pressure because they have a great front seven.
When you have a quarterback though who can read the picture basically as well as any quarterback, how do you evaluate given the fact that Michigan has not really faced a quarterback like quarterback you guys have?
Yeah, it's hard to do that exactly for that exact point. We never know. I don't think. I think Mike's the best in the nation, so I don't think they've played somebody like Mike. So I think it's going to be a great challenge for them and a great challenge for us as well. And that's why I think that matchup, our offense versus their defense, is something that people are looking forward to. Thank you.
Rome, what is your remedy for feeling pressure? How do you get rid of it?
Remedy for feeling pressure. I think the remedy for feeling pressure is in the preparation. When you're on game day and you're feeling that pressure and you're nervous, that's when it's a little too late. That confidence and that preparation before the game even starts. In the weight room in the off season. Catching thousands of jug balls throughout the off season, doing those different things. That's a lot that allows you to be ready on game day and ready for that moment. So I would say the preparation.
How do you describe what it's like? This is cool and all and fun, but like for the game experience, for someone who will never get to be in your shoes, what do you tell them it's like to be at a championship game and have that opportunity for you?
It's that same feeling when you work hard for something and it comes to fruition. I think that people out there shouldn't be afraid to go chase something, and that seems impossible. That seems like a dream, because for me this was a dream when I was 6 years old. So chasing that and working towards it and just going through the adversity, the ups and downs, all of it. When you come to this moment, that's what it feels like. That kind of relief and that excitement, that all that hard work that you put in kind of paid off. So I would say that for sure.
Last question for me. There was a time when the college football playoff was brand new. It was a big change for everybody. Do you remember what that was like? What was it like when you watched football as a 10, 11, 12-year-old?
Right.
Do you think back, oh my God, it's been 10 years of the college football playoff. Does that register with you?
It doesn't register too much just because I was so young. I didn't know exactly what was going on. I wasn't dialed enough. My parents aren't as big as football fans to be able to, we didn't really sit down as a family and watch football that often. We did sometimes, but so I can't remember too much, but I definitely remember turning on the television and watching those big games. Alabama's been great throughout these games. When Clemson had their run as well, when the FSU, was doing their thing. So I definitely remember some moments in those games, but I just remember looking at those guys and being like, man, I want to be there. And then luckily for me, I have the opportunity to do that. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
What's up, bro? Max Brown. 4 easy ones for social media.
Right on.
If Coach DeBoer had an NIL deal, what would it be?
An NIL deal, like with a company or something?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know. He would be like a can't remember the brand, like Carhartt. He would be like a Carhartt guy. Yeah, he would have the Carhartt, kind of worker, blue collar job working guy. So I would say Carhartt for sure.
Love that. Favorite sports movie?
Favorite sports movie. Oh. Maybe The Longest Yard. Maybe.
There we go. Love it. What's the go-to hype song for you pregame?
I'm a Gangster's Paradise kind of guy.
No
Yeah.
hesitation.
Yeah.
Love it. Who's the most underrated dude on this team?
The most underrated dude on this team, man. That's everybody, but if I had to pick one,
Who doesn't get enough love?
who doesn't get enough love? Well, this is inspiration for him. Being able to find somewhere else to play after the season. I would say Dylan Morris. He doesn't get enough love. Yeah, he struggled through some of the hardest times of this program. Stayed here, fought, clawed to get us to where we're at now, and all the hard work behind doors, cannot be unrewarded. So I would say Dylan Morris.
And then last one, I'm just curious. You and Michael Penix are elite at the back shoulder throw. I think people take that for granted. You guys do every single game. What goes into that? You guys practice that? What do you guys do that make it look so easy that other people continue to struggle with?
I don't know. I think we kind of got that secret sauce with just the connection. It makes it easy on me when he puts it on the money every single time. I think that a lot of it is, on the quarterback being able to put it in the exact spot depending on the defender's location. And Mike's able to do that every time. But, yeah, something that we've worked on through the offseason. Through this season, gained even more confidence on it, making plays on that play, on several different occasions. So something that you just have to, also have the will to throw, because sometimes a lot of quarterbacks fear that throw as well. But I think it's something that we've kind of mastered and will hopefully utilize in this game coming forward.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Yeah, of course. Go Dogs.
So I was just talking to Coach Shepard, and he mentioned that when you got your draft grade, that NFL scouts or teams said that maybe they didn't think you made contested catches well enough.
Yeah.
What did you think when you got that?
Yeah, for me,
It sounds ridiculous now.
yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. It was exactly. I mean, my thoughts then are kind of my thoughts now. I think it's ridiculous. I think that I've made contested catches pretty consistently my entire career. Definitely have got better at it, but I mean, that's a receiver. That's playing football. Of course, you get better, but it's interesting because now I'm hearing some chatter about, since I've made so many contested catches, now I'm not open enough, obviously, because I've had to make so many contested catches. So for me, it's just disappointing. It's just people trying to find ways to criticize your game and to do these things. But at the end of the day, I feel like you turn on the film and I do some things pretty well. So the contested catch aspect of it last year was a bit interesting to me.
I was gonna say, do you feel like you turn on the tape this year? I mean, you more than answered that in your opinion. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, I think so. I think the tape, the numbers, the statistics, speak for themselves, especially the film. So I think that's probably crossed off their list of things to say.
He mentioned your leadership and kind of the way you go about the guys, like firing them up. When you get in front of your guys, what's your mentality like? What's flowing? Kind of how do you get kind of hyped up when you talk to your guys?
Yeah, I just go from the heart. I mean, this means so much to me that it's easy. You just let your emotions flow and what's on your heart flow. And I feel like, every time I do that, it comes out pretty well. And we have a lot of the guys on the team that are vocal, with JP being a very vocal leader for us, in the wide receiver room and outside that. When they take some of the pressure off of me and allow me to shine when it's my moment as well. So, but in those moments, I would just say, it comes from the heart,
And then I asked him this. I was curious what you think. Should you won the Bolin call?
In my opinion, I think I should have won it. But, at the end of the day, that's not something I'm too worried about now. We're in a national championship, and raising up that trophy will mean a lot more to me than winning the Biletnikoff. Plus, there were so many great receivers in college football this year. Marvin played tremendously. Malik played tremendously. And, kudos to those guys for sure.
Well, look at your guys' lineup. So many of these guys have been here 3, 4, 5, even 6 years. How important has that been to this team getting to where it is?
It's been, crucial just because I think, that leadership and that knowledge of, how things were and sort of that mindset of going through those tough times and coming to this season and knowing that we have, big things ahead of us. It took a collection of some new mindsets, some old mindsets to be able to get that done. So, some of the veterans on these guys, the mixed pot that we have, it's gelled very well, and it's created a perfect scenario for us to succeed. Good.
So I was told by a former coach of yours, I'll reveal the name at the end, that I should ask you about wide receiver school and how wide receiver school helped you, your freshman, sophomore year into now.
Right. Yeah, shout out Coach Adams. I already know. But yeah, Coach Junior Adams, my guy. Yeah, he did a lot for us, teaching us a lot of technique, and that was kind of in some of the pivotal years, learning how to play college wide receiver and how to become a better wide receiver. And a lot of it was just kind of learning the offense and learning, defense and why you do certain things. Because, when you chalk it up, there's only so many different things you can do as an offense and so many different concepts that, you can start to generalize some of the different things that are trying to go on any given play. So he was teaching us those things and giving us the knowledge to be able to go forward and play like a pro and to prepare like a pro, what he would always say. So, yeah, that was wide receiver school, waking up real early and going over those things.
And school before school.
That's right.
What is the biggest thing that you took away from that you think has greatly changed your game?
I think, one, the mindset that it gave me, like, working hard and getting up when things are uncomfortable and doing the uncomfortable things, just because it was hard to wake up at that time and want to come and learn and do those things, but it was better for us. And also just the mindset of wanting to understand everything that's going on in the field as well. I take pride in being a smart receiver and understanding what's going on in the field and being kind of like a quarterback out there. So it kind of set those two things in motion for me that have brought me a lot of success.
One last question. You put in a lot of work into catching the football itself, and I was told that you would rock a yellow laundry net over your helmet in practice. What have you seen in that growth, and how proud are you of that aspect of your game?
Right, yeah. Coach Adams giving out all the secrets, huh? The boy spilled the beans. No, it's, just another thing that allowed me to, work on my craft. And, the net allowed me to focus in with my eyes and my hands and kind of connecting the two. And I think all those little things that you do, trying to become a better receiver help you improve. And I would advise young receivers just to, do something a little weird or a little different that, you feel helps you and grow in that way and put in the work. And all those little things that we did, I feel like has helped me, grow and become the receiver I am today. Yeah, of course. Yeah, what's good?
into the future. Kind of what were those conversations like between you guys? And I think we remember you saying that you were one of the last ones to commit. What ultimately flipped you on coming back from this?
Yeah, it was a tough decision. I think that we were all kind of just talking about the possibilities of what the season could be, and the pros and the cons of coming back, because football is a dangerous game and you can get injured at any time. So I think that there was a lot of risk in that sense, and I think we were just kind of talking together, picking each other's minds on what we all wanted to do, and for me, I was the last one because I just want to consider every factor. I'm the type of guy that I want to know every single piece of information before I make a decision. So when I got all that information and I considered all the different things, including everybody coming back and the possibility of something like this being able to happen and my dreams come true, it narrowed the decision down for me.
Getting to this point seems like it was a goal at that point, but it kind of feel a little bit like a stretch from high school. Setting big goals, I guess, is kind of scary, right? So, at what point does it start to sink in that, this is doable?
I think from the start, it definitely, is in the back of your mind. I think it just continues to grow and grow. I think at the beginning of the season, a lot of us, including me and Michael, were, in the interviews and saying we wanted to go for a national championship. And I don't think you fear away from that. Don't just say something and feel like you have to say it just to say it, but believe in that goal. And that's exactly what we did. We believed that we could be in this moment, and we followed that up with the work and the tireless nights to get to this goal. So it takes a combination of believing it and also go out there and put in the work to achieve it.
Yeah, and you grew up on the West Coast. I don't know how big of a West Coast football fan you are generally, but for no fault of your own and nothing you did, this is the last year of your contract.
Yeah.
Is there any emotions or any thoughts on that?
Yeah, for me, it's bittersweet because we get to go out with a bang, but I was saying earlier that I'm a West Coast guy. I love Pac-12 football. I grew up watching Pac-12 Network at dark and watching all those games and so many different moments. So for me, it's sad that it's coming to an end, but luckily all those teams are still gonna end up playing football in some fashion or another, and whether it's in different conferences or whatever. So you'll be able to still watch some of your favorite teams, but definitely kind of an end of an era.
Yeah, and I forget, one of your teammates was saying that Washington was the first team to win a Pac-12 championship, and now you're also the last, possibly a national championship. Is that something that you guys have talked about as a team at all?
Yeah, it was when we were, in the Pac-12 championship, something that we were, on the verge of history of doing, so something that we were able to accomplish. But, now it's being the last Pac-12 team to win a national championship, so we're focused on that goal now. But definitely something that we discussed prior. Yeah, of course.
What's up, Rome? Nick Douglas here.
What's
Talk
up?
to me a little bit about everything leading up to this point. You came to Washington under a previous administration in COVID, a lot of uncertainty. Leading up to this point where you're playing on the biggest stage, 14-0, going for 15-0, a feat that only 4 teams have accomplished. Talk to me a little bit about the individual that you came into Washington as and the individual that's on stage right now.
I think, just like anybody else that kind of goes through the experience of, college, it's kind of a time in your life where you grow and you kind of learn different things and you become, a person that you're probably going to carry, yourself as for a long time until my next adversity hits or my next lesson comes. But yeah, a lot of growth, in my mindset, in my relationship building, in my habits as a teammate, my individual work ethic. There's so many different factors that this journey has taught me that I'm super grateful for, and continuing to be on that path of growth for sure. What's up, man? The best dap up? Oh, that was, come on. That was good. That was good. That was solid.
Rome, when you said you grew up watching Pac-12 football, was there a team or a player that you liked? I mean, I know you might have to say another school here, but
right.
Is there a team or player that you really enjoyed watching as you were growing up?
Player that I enjoyed watching. Yeah, I really watched liked watching McCaffrey when he was playing because I think he was slept on too when he was out here or when he was playing ball, and I felt like he was going crazy. It was really fun watching him. When I was real little, I also really like watching DeAnthony Thomas. I know he plays for the school we don't mention now, but as a kid, watching him fly around, go crazy was a lot of fun as well. And then watching John Ross as well here at UW was a lot of fun. Kind of those electrifying players and that are making those extraordinary plays are always fun to watch. So I would say those guys.
Rome, you and Jalen got here together in the 2020 class. Y'all made it around the same time as well. How would you describe y'all's relationship and the journey y'all have taken together?
Oh, that's my guy. That's my brother. We came in here. We've been through all the adversity together. And I think that we're better for it. There's just been so many different factors of some adversity, whether it's injury or COVID, that we've gone through to be able to get to this point. Like, I'm super happy that we're able to share this stage together, and super happy for him and all the success that he's had through the adversity that he's had on and off the field. It's been, a tremendous amount of different factors that he's had to go through to get to this point. So I'm super blessed, super proud of him, and super grateful that he'll go put on the show on Monday.
Did you, when you got here in 2020 together, did y'all envision it taking to this long and this path, this crazy and stuff?
Definitely not. Definitely didn't take it, going like this. We thought we were gonna come in and go make it happen, for a snap, and that was a bit naive of us, I guess. But we're big dreamers, so we knew at some point we were gonna, take over, and that's exactly what happened. We put in the work. We continue to keep our head down and do the right things, and we've got to the biggest stage. So. I think we definitely had this dream, but it probably came a lot faster in our young minds than it did it in real life.
Where does this wide receiver trio rank among the best?
Among the best in history?
In
recent college football history, I think it's up there. I don't know if I can put an exact number on it. For me, I would say number one, but I'm a bit biased. So you guys got to go back and do the research to see who's number one. But I think we have a skill level, and this wide receiver room as a whole, honestly, not even just a trio of us, is something special and something that I think people look back on to see that was pretty special. So I think we're up there though. Yeah.
Someone just made about the connection you and Michael have, and just him being the best deep ball passer in college football. What was the moment early on to realize, wow, this guy is he's no different, he's really special?
I think the first moment he stepped on the field, when we were in the offseason and he wanted to go throw routes on air with us, I realized he was a little different. Just, his ability to put the ball wherever he wanted on the field, his touch pass, his deep ball. There were so many different aspects to his game that I was like, okay, yeah, he can really do this. So, from that point going forward, it just, instilled confidence in us, and that continued to grow and grow.
Is there anything to be which has surprised you all the last 2 years, what he's done and how he's played for 2 years?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't say surprising, but I would be lying if I said it wasn't astonishing to see him be so consistent and do his thing, do what he does on a consistent basis the way he's done. I don't know if anybody could have anticipated that, but you could tell that he was going to do something special with his demeanor and his mindset and the way he carries himself. So it's not surprising that he's able to do these things, but you definitely got to take a step back and be like, wow, he's really doing it.
Just last for me, Troy was saying that it was week 11 last year that Mike kind of went up to you guys and gave his testimonial. Did you recall that moment and how it hit you?
I do. Yeah, I do. He was just chopping it up with us, about his journey and all that he had been through. And I think it was in chapel, I believe, before a game, and he was just telling us his journey and all the adversity that he has faced. And I don't know if I had known to that moment that that's all that he went through. I had read up a little bit about him when he was first initially coming, but I didn't know. I still don't know all the adversity that he's been through. He's been through so much, so it definitely inspired us and kind of showed us, wow, man, if this guy can do all that and be as great as he is, the sky's the limit for all of us.
It was more just the injuries, though, right? He was going through
Yeah, going through injuries, going through how he felt and the different emotions, but just kind of a summary of all that happened to him. Yeah.
Staying on Michael for a second, how do you think his time at Indiana and playing for Coach Allen impacted him as a person, as a player, and how do you think that's impacting you guys in return?
I think that it built a lot of perseverance and resilience in him. You know, he was at the top. You know, he was in the Heisman race at some point. You know, beating Penn State in overtime with his little crazy run around the edge. He was doing amazing things, and then he had a bunch of injuries that kind of, you know, put a halt on his career for a moment. So he had to have the wherewithal to go through those moments and to persevere through those things. He brought that mindset straight to us. You know, we had been a program that just went 4-8. We had been a program that wasn't leading up to expectations. So he fit right in, and with his mindset, with his culture, and the way that he leaded us, we kind of just followed his lead and ran with it. Shout out Nate Caleppo.
Hey, Rome.
What's up, man?
Troy mentioned, going out to eat with Michael and fans coming up to him and stuff. I'm wondering if you've seen anything like that before when you guys have been out and people come up wanting autographs or whatever it is. And how have you kind of seen him handle making that leap from, to true stardom this year?
Yeah, he's done it gracefully, I think. You know, he's a very genuine guy, very kind guy. I think that he's done it amazingly. You know, he's a busy man, and he's busy working, on us, getting wins and making sure he's on his A game every single time he touches the field. So for him to be able to manage those things so well, the way that he does it, I think it's like no other, and it shows his character, his true personality of love and caringness, and I think that it's hard to do that so consistent the way that he does. So I think he's handled it very well. What's up, man? How you doing, brother? Good. Let's see. Rome, bro. Nice to meet you. So. No worries.
Hey, Rome. Sorry, I know you and Roman Wilson were able to hang out from the Polynesian Bowl years back. Can you talk about the impression he made on you? Because I know you said he took you around and
yeah.
kind of showed you around. What was that like?
It was awesome. I think that was my second time being in Hawaii because I had played there before with my high school. So it was a lot of fun. I felt like he was a truly genuine guy, and he was just out there to have a good time and enjoy one of his last game in high school, and he kind of shared that experience with us. And then our kind of relationship continued from there. I followed him on Instagram, has been watching his journey. I remember him making plays, as a freshman, kind of reminiscent of the plays that he was making against my team, when we played him in high school. So I've been rooting for him for a long time now, and I hope he continues to have success, of course.
Odunze, the all-star receiver from Washington. Now, Rome, I've studied you a bunch throughout the season, man. Of course, watching Michael Penix Jr. just as a quarterback myself, but you keep showing up on tape. How excited do you get when you get those one-on-one matches against some of these DBs throughout the year?
I mean, I think I get super excited. I think I can go toe-to-toe with anybody one-on-one. So to have the isolation, to have a quarterback like Michael Penix back there in the pocket, I know we can make a play. So for me, during this season, it's been an honor and a privilege to be able to get in those scenarios.
Somebody said that I played with Sammy Watkins, Robert Woods, when I was in the NFL, we always got to the line of scrimmage, especially when we got inside the 15-yard line. Back shoulder work every single time. I think we do that at a high clip. What goes into really kind of perfecting that between you and Michael Penix Jr.?
I think that a lot of it was, the mindset behind it too. Just, as a wide receiver, you got to believe that you're going to go out and take that ball out of the air as much as you have the ability to go and do it. So I think, having that belief in one another and putting it on the money exactly where it needs to be. Every back shoulder ball is not the same. When the DB is in that position, you have to put it exactly where it needs to be. So he does that every single time. And I think that connection and our consistent ability to be able to do that has just created a confidence that is like no other.
Preparing for this game against Michigan, when you look at their DBs, what are some things they might do that might cause issues for you guys offensively?
I think that they're going to try and change the picture on us a good bit. They're able to play some different coverages from so many different looks and kind of create chaos for a quarterback and make him think twice about some certain things. And something that we're going to have to decipher. But challenges I wouldn't consider a challenge. It's another obstacle that we're trying to have to execute.
Some pretty interesting receivers over my time, man. I mean that like personality-wise. Right. I had some guys that was like, hey, bro, see you break the huddle. Look at me, I got you.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are 5 minutes remaining in the Washington media session. 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think we have anybody in the receiver corps that's like, hey, throw me the ball. We're not, that kind of receiver corps, but definitely, a nod or a look, like you see what I'm seeing, sort of deal, and he always, he's always able to recognize the coverages, as quickly as I am. So, probably even quicker. But so when we both recognize that, it gives us the ability to kind of have that, that wing, that head nod. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Will do, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's JP's emergence for this wide receiver group and to you guys this season?
I think it's man, everything is kind of our personality and how we feel ourselves we are as takers. I think he kind of embodies everything that a taker is. And we knew JP was a star. From the day that he touched the building, he kind of brought that mentality, that vocal leadership for us that we needed, and continues to do so. So. I think that it's created a mindset within us that we go and take the ball regardless of where it's at, and we work hard in practice too, because that's exactly what JP does. He's a relentless competitor on and off the field, in practice, in games, and I think that he's kind of shared that with us all.
I know, switching gears to Giles Jackson, the thought process was if the main guys this year stay healthy, you can preserve his red shirt. And I know he had a great deal of gratitude for you guys to be able to extend his college career for another season. What kind of player do you envision him becoming once he, has an offense with a little more space to work with?
Right. Man, I'm so excited for Giles' future. All those guys in that room, honestly. But Giles, he's a tremendous player. He's made so many different plays. I mean, even last year, he came through us on so many different moments. Just coming in and making a clutch play, and he's nearly impossible to tackle as well. He's so shifty in practice. His practice highlights are incredible. So I'm just so excited for him to be able to have an opportunity to make plays on a consistent basis. Having those opportunities, I think it'll come natural to him. He's such a competitor. He's such a great athlete. He's such a good dude that I think he's right along the same line as all of us that have come through and have success. And I think that is exactly what will happen for him.
The storyline that I was asking you guys about last week was the Texas D-line against your O-line and the run game and stuff like that. But Michigan's DBs, at least on paper, rank pretty highly. What do you see in that matchup? And do you think that face an offense that can sling it like you guys?
I don't think anybody's facing an offense that can sling it like us, so I would say no. But I think they do a great job in their secondary. I was saying earlier that they do a great job of kind of disguising their looks and, being able to be in the spot, post-snap that they weren't in pre-snap that allows, them to change the picture on quarterbacks. And, they're a physical secondary that comes down in the run game and is able to defend the pass as well. So definitely going to be a challenge for us.
Last thing I got for you, send-off yesterday in Seattle. That looked pretty cool. What'd you think of the fans coming out, braving the rain, and send you guys off like that?
Oh man, we got some of the best fans. They were out in the rain to send us off, with warm welcomes and a lot of high fives and a lot of cheering, and it kind of just raised our spirits. Allowed us to recognize that Seattle was behind us and our fans are behind us, which we knew they already were. But to have that confirmation with that event and all of them there, it meant a lot to us. Of course, go to us. Day game.
Text or
FaceTime.
FaceTime? What's your go-to hype song?
Gangster's Paradise.
Who's the best dancer on your team?
Lance Holtzclaw.
And what's your
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's
Winning.
Media Day. For those members of the media who took transportation from the Media Hotel, departures will begin shortly in the same location as drop-off.
What's your favorite memory this year?
Winning.
Thank you.
Of course.